Are you really teaching your child to be more independent by giving them choices? Hello, my name is Albina Terpetska for Albinspire Family Relationship Coaching. I help parents like you create the parent-child relationships they and their children deserve. Parents are recommended nowadays to give their children choices to help their children become more independent. But does it really work? And what kind of choices you need to give them to build that independency? You see, when you give child choices that you have made for them, that does not really create independency. For example, let's say you tell your child that you can put the kind of clothes you want today, and these are your choices. And you have selected 2, 3, 4 outfits for them that they can choose from to wear to school. You may feel like you allowed your child to practice independency. And you did to some degree, but not to the extension that you could have. Because when you think about it, who made those choices for them? It was you. They made a choice out of the options available, out of the options that you gave to them. So technically, they did not choose their clothes. You still, ultimately, were the person who did it for them. So how are they supposed to learn what kind of combination of clothes and what colors are suitable with each other, that match, that go well, if they don't have to do that work? You already laid out those 3 to 4 outfits that you have already put together that go well and that you think look great. But you did not really give them complete independency, where they get to choose what they want, and not only, but they actually get to think about what kind of clothes matches and goes well with another piece. They didn't get that practice. They didn't learn much. That they technically did not exercise any independency. They just selected what you selected for them, one of your choices. If the child is always given options that have been made or pre-selected by you, then they are not exercising that independency muscle, that thinking muscle. They are not learning how to think or what to do to be able to get that result, to get those choices, to consider those choices. They're just looking at what is already available for them, what you have already done for them, and they choose one of those options. If that's what you want for your child, that's great. But you do want to keep in mind that that actually creates dependency. Because in the future, when they're adults, there may not be a person who pre-selects or pre-makes the choices for them to choose from. But they are the one who have to find those options. They have to look for what choices they have. And they may not have that ability, that skill. They might be just waiting for somebody to give them those options. Then they might feel stuck, because given options that you have pre-selected for them is basically developing dependency on your choices, on the choices that you made. They will be expecting somebody to give them options that they can choose from, and they will not exercise their thinking muscle. They will not be thinking creatively. They are not going to be thinking, hey, but what about other options? Why do you have only 5 if maybe there is the 6th one? Maybe there are more options to this. Why do you have to stick with these 5? You see, by trying to help your child become independent by giving options, you may develop dependency on your choices, on somebody else's choices, and actually prevent them from becoming creative. So what I recommend is to teach them to find good options and to select the best one out of those good options. For example, if you know that your child is too little or doesn't really understand much how the clothes goes together and is not able yet to put pieces together, then instead of putting those pieces for them and then putting it in front of them and saying, oh, choose one of these options, teach them. Explain to them how to put those pieces together. What goes well with what? What colors are good to match? Teach them and help them develop that skill, that taste that they will need for the rest of their lives to be able to match clothes that looks good together. And it doesn't go only with clothes. This advice can relate to anything that you are teaching your child. Instead of giving them options, teach them how to create those options, how to find those options, and how to make the best choice. So you teach your child how to put those options together, the clothes or outfit options together, then you lay them out, you did it together, and then you only take a look at them and say, which do you think is the best? That looks good, that is well put together, and that has the colors that match nicely. And while you are coming up with these options and help your child create these options, allow them to make mistakes. Maybe one of the outfits they're going to put green tights, red skirt, and blue jacket, right? That doesn't really go well together. But allow them to leave this as an option. And then when you're done with more options, let's say 5 options of the outfits, then you can explain to them why this one may not go well together and this one may be better. So after explaining to them and teaching them, giving them the appropriate information, then allow them to make that choice. Only then they are really practicing their independence by finding and creating options, as many options as they can, and then by making a choice out of all the options that they have came up with, that they have found, not you. Only by doing that, you will teach your child to be really independent. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to leave a comment down below about what you learned in this video that you are going to start practicing with your child. Have an awesome week, and I will see you next week.